a woman in a women's boxing event for the Olympics. So why the outrage? Why is everyone so outraged at this event, on this happening? I'm not outraged. Do I condone what's happened? Hell no, I don't condone it. However, I'm not the authorities. So I'd be outraged if a woman was boxing at the Olympics and a man stepped into the ropes from out the crowd and punched this woman in the ring. Yeah, I'd be outraged at that. But how can I be outraged at an Olympic event which somebody had to qualify for to to be there to punch that woman? So there's a qualification. There's a process, right? A selection process, an elimination. You know, so there must have been some drug testing, blood testing of some form. So for this to just happen, it was already happening. So either the authorities turn the blind eye or that's the agenda. Just say what you want. Just be honest and say you want women versus men boxing at the Olympics. And just say it as it is. Because there is no way that that wasn't known beforehand. You cannot tell me, right, that this incident happened and there was nobody that knew within the boxing authority that this was going on. It's not the first time it's happened. It's happened in judo as well. So there has to be a line drawn because obviously that was dangerous what happened. It's just not on. That's why you have women's events and men's events. It's going straight down the line. Whatever anybody wants to do for a political agenda and that I'm upsetting people, I tell you what we do for you who wants to have men or men identifying as women, well, I'll tell you what, we can get two men that identify as women in in another category within the Olympics where men identifying as women can fight one another, and that can be Olympic sport. So therefore, when the blows are being thrown, it's fair game. So I'm not discriminating. I'm just saying make it fair. If you want to have a man saying that he wants to identify as a woman now, that's fine. You identify as a woman, but guess what? The person on the other side also identifies as a woman. So nobody's getting offended, and you can all punch one another up, and it's fine. That way, nobody's been offended. You can identify as a woman or as a man or whatever you want to identify as. But at the end of the day, when you're getting punched up, you identify yourself as a person that's getting hit and getting hurt and need to defend yourself. That's what needs to happen. But what happened at that Olympics is embarrassing. It's unacceptable because it's not fair. Imagine a woman has spent 4 years of her life dedicating to prepare for the Olympics. You get your opportunity to fight at the Olympics for the whole world to express yourself, and you have to come up against a man. And women have enough challenges as it is in the world, in a male dominated sport and in a male dominated industry, and we're trying to fight for equal rights, and we've got this happening now as well. So if you want to hear my opinion, these are my opinions on these thoughts. But why is there an outrage now? There should have been an outrage before this happened, before they got to the main event, the Olympics. Somewhere in the qualification, this should have been identified and rooted out. And also, from this point onwards, there needs to be a ruling and say, right, well, if you're going to identify as a woman, fine, you identify as a woman. Anyone who wants to identify as a woman, you all identify as a woman. And any time to do with physical contact, any sport that's got anything to do with physical contact, then you can identify as a woman or you can identify as a man, but make sure it's equal in terms of strength and power. That's fine. So identify as what you want. But those who are saying that they are male and female and want to say that at the sports be as they are, male, female, and then another category for identify as. That's the way the world is today, and we just have to. I won't say we have to accept it, but we have to allow for such things. I don't personally, it's not for me. But because it's not for me, it doesn't mean it's not for somebody else. I'm not of that ignorance. But when it becomes a problem to me is when it's infringing on what I've known for years as male and female boxing, and to enjoy that. Women's boxing have enough struggles as it is in the professional game than for this to happen. It's different. Like for one of the people, one of the beautiful women that I interviewed, Lucia Riker was one of the most dangerous women in women's boxing. Lucia Riker, she was like a pound for pound. She made the decision to go and fight against a man. But that was her choice. She went into the fight fighting a man. She held her own, but obviously the man had physical strength and overpowered her. But at the end of the day, she made a choice to go and fight against a man. That's different. But you train for years and you've been fighting against other women, and then you get into the Olympics and you're fighting against a man. Well, you know, it's not far. It's not long before we have AI robots fighting in the Olympics. So I don't. All these people that are outraging now, this has been known for a while. But you're just trying to jump on a bandwagon now. So this was yesterday, Barry. I think a woman got punched. A woman was in a Olympics and she got punched by a man who identified as a woman, whatever the situation may be. Basically, the first punch is the fight stopped within 45 seconds. She got the first blow she got hit with. She's like, no, I don't want this, and that was a natural reaction. I don't want this. I got the first blow, and I went, no, this is not. Now I don't know if the girl knew before she got in the ring about her opponent that it was a man identifying as a woman. I don't know if she detected that, maybe at a weigh-in or they crossed paths, and said, that's a man. And she thought, right, I'll take my chance. I'm at the Olympics. I've come this far. Let me see if I can. I don't know the full story. Let me see if I can negotiate or so try and give speed and movement, and maybe I can. The first blow she got, it was like, you know what? I think I'll sit this one out. So you see, after she's in absolute tears about it. That's 4 years dedicated. It's okay for these people at the top that don't have to worry about money, their family, finances, all that stuff, because they've got the cushy life. But for those who are struggling and trying to make a name for themselves, you know. I saw when it wasn't someone with a sex change, it was someone born with crossed. Well, whatever it may be, like I said before, there should be a section for identify as male, identify as female, identify as whatever you want to identify, as a cat or a dog or a hybrid man and woman, whatever. She's got a broken nose. Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? Now, if it was a woman punching a woman, she got a broken nose, I'm sure she would have got through that. She would have gone through that, because you understand what you're up against. Like, well, okay, fine. I'll take this and move on. You know, I can tell you from first-hand experience. Yeah, when I was must be at 12 or 13, and I was fighting in an open competition. It was mixed martial arts, not mixed martial arts, open competition, BCK, so it was British Contact Karate Association. It was, but it was a mix of the different arts put together, right? And we went to open competition. That basically means that you can use full footy fist, you can drive straight right hand through, you can use the elbow, you can see a spinning back fist, spinning front kick, back kick. You could do all this, that means you're allowed, you could draw blood. So anyway, I'm in this open class competition, and I'm fighting against a girl. The girl is qualified. Before the qualification for the next round is tournament. I think it either was at Wolverhampton or Birmingham. I was 12 or 13 at the time. As we were going to the next round to fight, we're fighting on this one mat. As if you, so I'd been chatting to this girl the fight before. We're talking, got really liked her, cute girl. Would you believe I had to fight this girl on a mat? And I'm thinking to myself, I talked to this, I'm fighting a girl, and literally, as I'm going forward to this girl, I'm thinking to myself, this is a girl. I can't be throwing punches at a girl. I can't be throwing kicks at a girl. And this girl's kicking and punching me. I'm just having to protect myself. And everything I'm doing, I'm withholding my punches because this is a woman, or this is a girl, not a pretty girl. This girl was vicious. But the fact of the matter is because you're a man and you're fighting against a woman, you're like, no, I can't do this. Even at 12 years old, I didn't sign up to fight in a comp. I'm expecting to, like, in the first round, I had to beat my best mate to get through to the next round. Now we didn't talk after that. We went to the same school together. I didn't, after that conversation, we never spoke again. Because the competition growing up, it was like, he did for he's better than me, and we got drawn to fight in the same on the same group. We had four. I had two fights. I had to fight him and fight someone else, and I would have been champion. So I fought my best mate, beat him. I just had fast hands and just counting hit with a back fist all the time. Pow, 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 just a back fist. Until he walked on, I hit with a back fist. So it was scoring. I beat him there, and then I came on to this girl. But I couldn't throw any punches. And I hadn't signed up. I signed up to fight another boy. So I'm just telling you from those personal experiences. So I don't know what will drive a man identified as a woman to go and beat up on another woman. I don't know. I mean, from young, you're told never to hit a woman. So I don't understand it. And please, I would rather play dumb and not know or not understand so I can get understanding, because I don't. No, I didn't, mate. I didn't. I was frozen. I couldn't do anything. But I just pushed out a jab. And even when you're doing sparring, like there's times the girls come in the gym and you do sparring, you knew you don't put full power. You don't drive right hand through. You don't. It's you pull your punches back. You don't. You're helping them move around the ring. So it's not a case of did I bash her up? No chance. Can't do it. Wouldn't do it. Wouldn't do it today. Hello, Anthony. How you doing? So I wouldn't do it. It's just not. It's not right. So I'm not condoning any particular being here, individual. I'm just saying, whatever you identify as, be clear, be honest about it, and say this is what I am. Whether you are identifying as male or identifying as female, or you're identifying as both male and female, whatever, then there should be a category for you. You should not be having the privilege to fight in, or the advantage to fight in a female competition like that. It's not fair, not right. Uh, yeah, it's terrible. Apparently, people born like that were stopped from competing in Olympics versus women, but not boxing. Should have been stopped straight up. Did you? Hello, Ingram. Javante Davis would ice Savannah Marshall, and Clarissa Shields are cold. If you are, and he's half their height. Tank weighs 180 out of camp. Jesus. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember the rubbish that girl was talking. What's her name? The UFC girl. I can see it now. She was UFC champion. She said she could beat Floyd Mayweather. I see her now. Ronda Rousey. I'm thinking Canelo could not beat Floyd Mayweather. This is young, fresh, experienced Canelo. Could not beat Floyd Mayweather. You, Ronda Rousey, just got yourself beaten up by a half decent female boxer. Uh, what's her name? Home. You got punched up by her. You're talking about you could beat Floyd Mayweather. This nonsense. And now the Clarissa Shields said she can beat Keith Thurman. Let me see something. If Keith Thurman lets them hands go, he's putting Clarissa to sleep. Ronda Rousey. People seem to want to ignore the power of testosterone. Ronda Rousey. Now there's an agenda going on, and the agenda is to confuse people and to say that men and women can fight in the same ring and all sorts of stuff. It's an agenda, and that's fine if you want to put out an agenda and you're just trying to shock the world to get people to just be desensitized to the fact that man and woman are fighting against one another. If that's what you want to do, just say that and stop doing it in sneaky ways. Just do it and say it as it is. Me personally, if I'm in control of the Olympic Council tomorrow, That's what I do. Male, female, identify as male, identify as female. That's all right. You identify as a female? Okay. You identify as female? Fine. Right. You guys fight against you ladies fight against one another. You get on with it. You identify as a male? You identify as a male? Okay, you go and fight one another. Go, you go ahead. The identification class, you just call it that and let them fight. Still fight in the Olympics. Let them fight. Let them fight. And get on. The Italian girl who got her nose broken was in tears. That is what happens when women get beat by men. They are in tears because they are distraught from the trauma of the experience. It's not acceptable. She should sue and sue for trauma, loss of money and income, all sorts of stuff she should be suing for. When a man is beat by another man, emotion is embarrassment and shame. Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, this is the horrifying thing, right? That it shows in is it the Fall Guy? Not the Fall Guy. One of these cartoons. Is it the Fall Guy? It's not the Simpsons, but one of these guys predicted a man beating up a woman at the Olympics. And the funny thing is, the girl who got beat up at the Olympics was she in red or blue, whatever. It was in this cartoon. The Italian girl will probably never box again because of the trauma. Probably not. Probably not. Well, she'll be famous. She'll be famous, and she'll probably get written into law. That moment there is a law. That's going to be a case study. That's going to be court. That's going to be law. Some solicitor or lawyer is going to jump into that. It's going to want to get into that and be famous from that. I'm telling you, that is an iconic moment. It is an iconic moment. And it's almost to say, this is the world we're in today. This is not 1980, 1990. This is 2024. This is the world we live in today. Chaos out of order, or order out of chaos, whichever way you want to look at it. That is what we've got today. That is what it is. That is what the agenda want. That's how they want it to be. They don't care about us. That's how they want it. So that's what it is. She'll be famous for something she did not want her name attached to in the first instance. I get it. I get it. I understand it. But now she's in that situation. She should make the most of it. She'll probably make more money now than she ever would have done being a world champion as a woman. I think. Court case, sue for trauma, sue for loss of earnings. The trauma, the embarrassment, the damage caused. But she didn't get a broken nose from a woman. She got broken nose from a man. So, I don't know. Oh, but she identifies as a woman. I identify that your strength was twice my own. So there's a lot of things there for us to look at, and probably a lot more. Wish I had got a solicitor or a lawyer now to talk about it, but it's unacceptable. The boxing world are up in arms about it. The old-fashioned people will say, well, didn't like women boxing in the first place. This is what happens. And people will also turn and say, those who jump on the bandwagon and say women that say they can beat men, this is another highlight situation as to what happens. But Clarissa will probably say, well, I'm not that girl. I've got better skills. I've got better skill set, and I'll beat Keith Thurman. God forbid that ever happens. But they probably would use that fight to teach Clarissa a lesson and get Keith to do it. I don't know. But we're seeing what happens when a man landed on Clarissa in the gym. So, all I can say about this is there should be categories. That's it. Nobody's getting offended by this because there should be categories. If you are of the type that think that this situation is acceptable, then there's a place called Misfits. Do that. But it is just in terms of Olympic and boxing at the Olympics stinks. I haven't even bothered watching one fight at the Olympics, and the one fight that's got my attention is this one here because of nonsense. I haven't looked. I don't even know one fighter's fighting the Olympics. I don't know anybody's fighting the Olympics from the UK. I don't know anybody. I don't care. I'm not interested because I know how the Olympics are in terms of that sport, boxing. Shout out to Steve Redgrave as well. It was a pleasure to have got to interview him for the 2012 Olympics and to work with him at the 2012 Olympics to promote cricket. So that was amazing. It is on this channel somewhere. my Steve Redgrave interview. 6-time Olympic world champion, has diabetes, and was able to win it as rowing. 6 times Olympic gold medal winning champion. So yeah, I just want to add that as well. So shout out to Steve Redgrave, great guy, and what a champion. But I have, in terms of boxing and the Olympics, gone are the days of Lennox Lewis winning the Olympics like that, or Muhammad Ali, or we talk about Roy Jones Jr. robbery there. Olympics are a joke. I'm sorry, they've lost their prestige, an absolute joke. I mean, the Roy Jones one was bad. The Roy Jones one was terrible. The Joe Jones one was bad, right? But this, it's like an era in itself, a whole new world, a new world. That's what we got here, and it's a damn shame. Thanks for watching. Let me know your comments in the. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What would you do if you were in the position? What do you see? Would you sue if you were the woman? What would you do if you were even the man identifying as a woman? What would you do in this situation? Would you continue fighting in the Olympics? You know, uh, would you be proud of yourself of what you've done? Who allowed this to happen? What's the selection process? So many questions to ask. What would you do now? All right, I'm out. Thanks for watching.